Hello and welcome back to World of Warcraft Multiboxing. I am the Red Menace, and in this video we are going to be updating the user interface for my level 20 Warlock. And if that doesn't take too long, I will also be updating my level 20 Mage. So getting started here, I've opened up my spellbook and my macros, and I've added a Drain Soul macro. I don't have many other spells that'll need to be updated, but Drain Soul, because it's a channeled spell, it needs this special macro, which I've pasted here into my macro, my Assist Party 1 Drain Soul macro. And you can see what it does. It is assists unit party 1, assists units raid 1, and then it's got this script: if not casting bar frame channeling, then cast script by name Drain Soul. And actually I don't believe I need that end. But what this will do is that if I'm hitting the F key a bunch of times, and I've cast Drain Soul, if I'm already channeling Drain Soul, it won't recast Drain Soul and waste all my mana. If we had a regular macro where it was just cast Drain Soul, then every time we hit the F key, it would try to recast Drain Soul. And because that spell takes 15 seconds to fully channel, then every time the global cooldown went off, it would recast Drain Soul, and I would waste 55 mana. Now, let's say my target Corruption expires while I'm casting Drain Soul. Corruption will actually override if I'm channeling this. If I didn't want it to, because this, you might want to set it so that this is only going to go off when your target has, maybe 100 health left. You might not want it at that point to override Corruption. So you could copy-paste this script over to a Corruption macro and then change the Drain Soul to Corruption. I'm not going to do that, though, because I can achieve the same effect with Discord action bars. And doing it with Discord action bars will give me a bit more control over it. So with Discord, we want to come here to our change actions. Oh, you know what? I also need to I was thinking I might be able to get Siphon Life, which is another dot I can get, but it doesn't look like I'll be able to. I think that's available at level 30, not 20. So let's go ahead. We'll pull our Drain Soul macro over here. I don't need that anymore. So we could add Life Tap, but I don't think I want to at this point. That's what else we want. We want to summon our Imp. So I think that's all we need to change as far as our actions go. Oh, that was another thing. We want to change Demon Skin to Demon Armor. Yeah, 120, 210. So we'll start by changing this my V button. We want to edit this so that the buff name is no longer Demon Skin, but Demon Armor. And remember to hit add condition at the bottom to update. Now we also, instead of refreshing spring water, we want to bring this conjured purified water from our mage. And now it restores about 800 mana. So we want to come over here to this mana loss of player, which is currently set at 80. And we're going to set it to 400. And that should be all we need to do with our V key. So I'm going to run outside real quick, and I want to target an enemy and get an idea how much health they have. It would be nice if I could see how much the elites have. There's a boar. Oh, and of course it doesn't show. And I don't have a player frame. Well, never mind about that. What I want to do is come to our health condition. We want to do health of our target. And we want it to be less than, let's see, Corruption rank 2 causes 90 shadow damage over 15 seconds. Curse of Agony is 180. Immolate hardly does any damage. Well, it's 69. We'll set this to 400. And it's just going to be a blank condition with no response. And we're going to put it up above Immolate. And why not Curse of Agony as well? So what this means is, if my target has less than 400, it's not going to cast Curse of Agony or Immolate again, but it will cast Shadow Bolt. We're going to do another health condition on our target. And if it's less than, we're going to go 200. This one's not going to be blank here. It's going to be, we're going to have it set action. And we're going to go with our Drain Soul macro. We'll go ahead and add that condition. Now, if I have Drain Soul on it, I'm not necessarily going to want Corruption to be recast, because at that point there's only 200 health left. So what we'll do is we'll have it at the very top, or we'll have Drain Soul at the very top, and we'll just update our conditions here. This will be written by 1, 2, and 3. One, 2, 3, and 4. And this one is not going to be 3, but instead 4 and 5. So you can see now that this button now, if I don't have a target, it defaults to Assist Party 1 Drain Soul. So there should be a way to prevent that. I'm going to try this target is not hostile, and we're just going to, the response is going to be blank. And just as a test, we'll make this first one overridden by 7. So that condition doesn't cover when we don't have a target. So we'll go ahead and we'll add another. There we go, new target selected. Again, the response is blank. And now, if we make this overridden by 7 and 8, you can see it switches to Corruption. And it will only switch when the target is hostile. So since we now know that those work properly, we'll go ahead and move them up to the top, just for organization's sake. Okay, so instead of 7 and 8 in here, we need to put 1 and 2. And then we can actually do the same thing for Corruption. So if we make that overridden by 1, 2, and 3, it won't work until we have everything set up properly. So this one needs to be 4 and 5. This one needs to be 5 and 6. Oops. This one's 6 and 7. Okay, so somehow it's not working properly. Oh. What I need to do now is add a no condition. We're going to set the action to wait. Hit add condition. This one is not going to be overridden by 1 or 2. Oh. It will be overridden by 3 and 4 and 6 and 7 and 8. I believe this one is not right. Let's just go and erase everything but 1 and 2. Start over. We need 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not 5. That's 6 and 7. So now it won't show anything but wait unless it's targeting someone hostile. And it might be a problem against neutral creatures like that boar. Oops. So you can see if we target the flesh ripper, but I guess it will. Oops. Okay, that does work. So yeah, we target the boar, and corruption comes up. So all of that is working. We'll need to copy paste into my R and T buttons. And that will be the end of that. So let's copy, paste, and we'll paste. Okay. We need to add to our V button our summon imp. So to do that, we want to go to the pet not summoned condition, and we want to set the action to summon imp. And all we need to do is raise that up 1, set it to be overridden by no need reason not to have it overridden if it's in combat. And 3 is fine. And 4. Add condition. And then we need to remember to add 1 more to the 6th condition. Now, as soon as we do that, if you can hear my dog, he is sleeping and dreaming. If we hit our V key, that will summon our imp. I chose the imp right now because I don't have any soul shards. And the imp doesn't take any soul shards to summon. But now that we've made the changes here, we'll be using Drain Soul, which will give us soul shards, and if I wanted to add, the imp's nice because he has the blood pack buff, which is there. Okay, so now we're done with our Warlock. We will switch over to our Mage and update her. So we'll want to go into the spellbook and take a look at what spells we need to add. I don't think I'll need to use polymorph. My Frostbolt macro updates automatically. I don't have Arcane Explosion yet. So I don't think there's really any reason or any need to add Frost Nova to my T key yet. The T key is my AoE key, but I use primarily Arcane Explosion. So let's take a look at our Discord action bars. So we'll want to update this to include Fire Blast. So for that we'll need to make a macro. We already have a macro. Do we have that in our actions? We do. Okay. Okay, so in order to add Fire Blast to this, we need to do a action out of range. Okay. We're going to put that on 12 Frost Nova, but I don't need Frost Nova right now. And it's going to be a no response. Let's go back into our change actions, and we'll move Fire Blast where Frost Nova is. So next we want action not cooling down, and we want Fire Blast rank 1, and our choose response is going to be to set the action to our Fire Blast macro. And we'll add condition. We want to set this one up similar to how we did our Warlock. So we want a target is not hostile condition, and next we'll want a no targets. Oops. No target selected. No response. Move these up to the top. We also want a no condition, and we're going to set action to wait. I must not have clicked it. Alright, there we go. So we'll need to edit condition 3. And it needs to be overridden by 1 and 2. Oh, no, actually that is wrong. It doesn't need to be edited. I need to edit 4, and it needs to be overridden by 1, 2, and 3. And then this no condition needs to be overridden by 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or no. Just 1 2 and 4. No 3. And then condition 6 needs to be overridden by condition 4 and 5. And we'll go ahead and copy, paste, and paste. So now we want to update. Let's test this since we're out here. So as you can see, I click on a hostile target, and it switches over to our spells, or the right spells. So that's working. Now we want to move Conjure Water rank 3 to where Conjure Water rank 2 is. We want to conjure some water, and we want to put that in place of the old water. Then go back to our button, now I'm going to be making water for my entire group, and I want to give them each about 20 waters, and they're all casters. Right, my priest, my warlock, my mage, and my druid. So that means I'm going to need 80. Total waters. Well, no, let's keep it at 40. I am going to change this mana lost of player, and we're going to move it up to 400. So, pretty quick for the mage. I believe we're done. So until the next video, I will talk. I never know how to end these things.